nerding.
Hey! What's up, everybody?
What it do? What it do?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is
a little low.
Another amazing Taco Tuesday. You know what that means? You are now experiencing distance nerding. I'm
Part
young
of the
Phil.
comic. Oh, sorry.
So I'm young Phil. That's Jen. James is looking up because Superman.
Because kaiju.
He's looking up.
Because kaiju, exactly. And we're here.
To nerd
together.
There we go.
Nailed it for the 232nd time. Talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on YouTube, now is the time to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, guys. It makes the algorithm think that we're amazing, right? Listen on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review and just a reminder, 5 stars helps us in ways that you guys have no idea. Follow us on all the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord, all those places at Distance Nerding. And of course, you can email us at your place of choice using the email that you would like, as long as the email you are emailing is distancenerding@aol.com.
And that's like you email to us that.
Right.
You can do it from anywhere, but it's got to be that email address for us because that's our email address.
Correct.
Wait, they got to email us from our email address?
Yes.
No, from their email address to our email address.
Internet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the download.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. You guys ready? Because I'm ready.
Let's do this.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this week on deck, we've got starting rumors.
Rumors,
reboots, and Riz.
Got it.
No is between all of you people and the both of you right there. The download.
We got some blazing hot news filled with MCU, DCU, and 50% off AMC.
And rounding out at the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Geek End update.
We go from Silver to Meadowlark this week.
That is right. Before we get into all of the fun stuff that we are going to go over tonight, ladies and gentlemen,
But first,
let me get a shout out. Shout out to all the folks over at Dubby.
Except Gary. And Gary from Dubby, you know what you did.
You know what you
All
did.
I have to say.
You know
Gary.
what you did.
It's always a Gary.
You know what's funny is I was hoping you were gonna say Anthony because the owner of W's name is Anthony. It was like, oh, if you would have did that by accident, that would have been amazing. W is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Ladies and gentlemen, find out more about W at www.w.gg. Use the code nerding10 and get 10% off your order. It is all kinds of deliciousness. They're putting out milk flavors now.
Ew. I mean,
No,
cool.
Why?
So they have a s'mores flavor.
Oh, okay. All right.
I guess it's like chocolate milk with energy.
Chocolate milk with energy. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
No, okay. You know what? To be fair, there is something in I want to say every time I go to Arizona, they have it. There is like a milk that has energy in it. It's actually really good.
You drank milk.
You're not talking
from
about
Arizona?
like mother's milk or something like, right? Like the
It's
stuff, muscle milk.
No, because like it's not like a muscle milk kind of thing. It's like it's not like a protein shake. It's like chocolate milk or strawberry milk, and it tastes just like that. It just like they added caffeine to it.
Oh, so like a mocha.
Kind of, yeah. So like, I'm imagining that that's what this is. This is like a chocolate milk kind of thing, but just has.
Okay, I could handle that, but they probably put coconut in it.
They probably do. I mean, we'll
They
have
should
to
add
look at that.
caffeine to everything. Like if they had a steak with caffeine, I'd be so happy.
Oh yeah, energy steaks. Hell
Oh
yeah,
my god, sounds delicious.
They call that Adderable.
edible. I love it. Let's continue.
Hey, James,
Yes, I know. I totally know.
you know what I'm gonna say?
I know what
Phil,
you're gonna
do
say
you
before
know?
you even say it.
Do you know, Phil?
I know exactly where you're going here.
We are part of the Geek Freaks Network, y'all. I still had to say it. We are part of connecting, informing, where all us geeks and nerds can explore our fandoms, discover new ones, engage in nerdy discussions. Be sure to check out all of their podcasts, Geek Freaks Podcast, Who's Got Next Game, Interviews and Headlines, Challenge Accepted, Outlast Podcast, Fandom Portals, Disney Moms Gone Wrong, Anime Plus, and of course, Distance Nerding. We're the new kids on the block. The Geek
Right.
Freaks Network has you covered. Find out more at gfpods.com. So you can catch us and all the other shows at gfpods.com. Who's putting that in the thing?
I'll put it in the
In
thing.
the chat?
Duh.
In
Okay.
the thing. I'll do the thing. You know, we were talking with Fandom Portals
Mhm.
podcast,
Yeah.
I think last week, and we're like, hey, we should do the show swap. I think you had the idea of like, hey, let's start doing show swaps, right? But they're in Australia. Yeah, you.
Oh,
They're in Australia. So they're like, yeah, we can come on at this time, our time. And we looked and it's like Thursday, 3 a.m. our time. We're like, it's not, I don't know if that's our demographic, but we'll see. We'll try it. We'll figure it out.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Australia is in the future, so
They are.
that's yeah.
We learned this on Thursday when our guest was on and he was from Australia.
Oh goodness.
But it was like 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so that went about as well as I thought it would. Let's move on.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jump into it. Let's start some rumors.
Are we getting banned in Belarus?
We're getting banned in Belarus all over again.
Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus.
Banned in
Banned in
Belarus.
Belarus. Banned in Belarus.
Abandoned Belarus.
All right, who's got the first one?
That would be moi.
Get it, Jen?
I have first story. Earth's mightiest try universe's busiest. This leak has more capes than Comic-Con. Avengers Doomsday might have just spilled its entire first act, and it's a multiverse buffet. Not buffet, buffet. Shuri's tracking universe crashes, Wong's calling in backup, and the gang's all here. Cap, aka Sam, Hulk, Carol, Thor, Yelena, Namor, and the Fantastic Four casually show up to save Monica and Franklin Richards from Doom's twisted reality. Sprinkle in X-Men name drops, Galactus looming, and the TVA meddling with Loki on speed dial. And you've got an opening act that sounds like Marvel threw every franchise into a blender. If it's true, buckle up. If it's fake, A+ for fan fiction. Tacos on the table. Is this leak the real deal or just the most ambitious crossover fanfic since Endgame?
This is interesting. I guess starting with a bang, they're just gonna dive right in and have every single character possible in the mix.
Right? I mean, seriously.
Doesn't that set the bar too high for the rest of this like 2.5 hour, 3-hour movie? Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
it kind of does. Like, if they're doing the third act of Endgame at the beginning of this movie, it's going to be intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your
Well,
left,
I mean,
right from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, I think that like they're gonna introduce everyone and then it's gonna be like, good night, everyone. We'll see ya in Secret Wars. Because there's so many people in this movie.
Yeah, there's a level of intensity with having that many characters, but again, we complained the same way about Superman, and Superman pulled it off really well. So I don't think that we're gonna have too much of a problem, especially because the Russos are coming back and they know how to handle multiple characters without it feeling too crowded. You know what I mean?
That is true. They are very team focused. And you don't have to actually introduce everybody. Most everyone should know who everyone is by now.
Right. So my tacos are on the table for this. I can see it being something where they have all of these characters coming in at some point in the first act. But I guarantee you some of them are going to be it's going to be like the second act of Multiverse of Madness. Just like characters get introduced and then characters get wiped away. Because I feel like they're gonna do the same thing they did with Infinity War, you know, and kind of just wipe so many characters away in service of, you know, showing how much power Doctor Doom has.
Yeah, I do think it's gonna be a little like them Strange and America going through like we might see some cameos of some people. And I mean, we might get some X-Men name dropping, but I don't know if we'll get a whole bunch of X-Men. So, yeah, I mean, I guess my tacos are on the table for this. My overfilled, slightly bursting at the seams tacos are on the table.
That just sounds delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, my
From
tacos
Chipotle.
I'm going to say my tacos are off the table. I think it's just too much. I think it's too much.
Okay.
Too much. Again, that tortilla is bursting, and next thing you know, all your taco is all over the table. So, no.
Too much lettuce for you.
Too much. Too much lettuce. You know what I mean?
So it's a lot of lettuce. All right, well let's move on to the next story here. The big three get a Halloween upgrade: cloaks, claws, and cursed contracts. Marvel's Supernatural squad is officially crawling out of the crypt. Werewolf by Night 2 is reportedly in development, bringing back Jack Russell, Elsa Bloodstone, and the Man-Thing for another round of monster mashups in eerie elegance. But this isn't just the sequel; it's a gateway to Midnight Suns, Marvel's long-whispered horror team-up. I hope we're getting. Ghost Rider may lead the charge with Blade, Moon Knight, Wong, and Elsa rumored to join the lineup. Toss in Mephisto's recent cameo in Ironheart, and it's clear Marvel's embracing its spooky side just in time for Halloween. Forget androids, aliens, and wizards. This crew's all claws, curses, and cryptic backstories. Tacos on the table. Are we finally getting Marvel's Supernatural squad, or is it just smoke up Mephisto's mirror?
My tacos are on the table. I think Elsa is going to be in this. Do you want to build a snowman? Yes, she's going to cross over.
You want to build a snowman?
It's going to be Elsa. She's going to have some emotional issues, but yeah, she'll be in it.
My tacos are off the table for this because I'm convinced that they keep dangling this freaking Midnight Suns and Blade bullshit to us just to keep us on the line, and I'm sick of it. Either do it or don't do it, but pick a lane. I really want to see it happen, though.
My tacos are on the table just because if the rumors are true and they're shelving the Blade movie again, this is a way to get Blade in here, given that he's already somewhat been introduced at the end of Eternals, right? You know, we got his voice and everything like that. Like I definitely want to see Blade. They've been saying that Moon Knight is going to be making an appearance. He's not going to get a second season, or actually the rumors being that now they are developing a second season, but still getting more Moon Knight, getting Wong, getting Elsa and the Elsa Bloodstone from Werewolf by Night. You know, it'd be great to see more from her. And then again, an introduction for Ghost Rider. Now that Mephisto is here, Mephisto can be the main villain.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's
Well,
elements that are here that make sense for them to bring Midnight Suns into the fold now.
I want it. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think something else is gonna fuck around and we're not gonna get it. Because I do want it. I
Yeah.
wanna see all of them together.
Yeah.
I wanna see Moon Knight, crazy Moon Knight, interact with all of them. And Ted. I think Moon Knight and Ted are gonna be BFF. I think Moon Knight and Ted are gonna be it. They're gonna be the team up that we never knew we wanted, and we're getting. It's
God,
gonna
Moon
be
Knight.
like Deadpool and Wolverine on all sorts of non-drugs.
Moon Knight and Man Thing together would be so weird, but so satisfying.
Yeah, and their high is all natural.
Yeah, because they're smoking Man Thing.
They're off their meds.
Definitely off their meds.
I could see a mixture of some of these characters, but not all these characters. Like, I don't think we're gonna see Blade, Moon Knight, Wong, who else? Doctor Strange on a Disney Plus show, before a movie comes out. I think they'll save that for the movie. Now, is it some kind of teaser? Like maybe Wong shows up in this show, like in this Werewolf by Night 2 type thing. That teases a bigger, Midnight Suns. I could see that happening. My taco's on the table for that. My midnight tacos are on the table for that.
Well, the rumor's been that it's going to be a movie, not that it's going to be a show. Mainly just because Disney doesn't want to invest in too many shows anymore. They want to do more movies. So,
Right.
I know Werewolf by 2 or Werewolf by Night is supposed to be a TV show, but because it's a follow up from what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the Midnight Suns, I think, is still on track to be a movie.
I think so. But that's what I'm saying, though, is that I think we may get a tease of it if there is going to be a Midnight Suns movie, where we'll get a tease of it in Werewolf by Night 2.
Gotcha.
But not all of them together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we'll get them all together. I mean, I think Wong might become like the new Nick Fury, where he's the one that kind of goes and checks in on everyone. And he'll be the one that pops in because he's got those really, he can portal. And we don't have Nightcrawler yet. So he's kind of our portal guy. So.
But if they do,
he's going to be the Nick Fury.
If they do a movie, I think Doctor Strange would be involved in that.
Maybe. I think he might be like come in for like a couple of scenes. I just don't see them putting that much emphasis on Doctor Strange. I think it's gonna be more like a Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, like that kind of thing, because Doctor Strange is really the way they introduced him and have been using him is very superhero and less mystic. And so that's why I think maybe he's not gonna be in it. But yeah, whatever.
What if we got Scarlet Spider in this?
We have to be introduced to Scarlet Spider first.
Yeah, but we're gonna get a Spider-Man movie before we do that. So, like, what's to say that we don't get Ben Reilly in Spider-Man 3?
Your tacos are like across the table, about to fall off. I don't know where your tacos are.
I just think that would be dope, just because Ben Reilly is a part of Midnight Suns, and it's like seeing Ben Reilly show up, because supposedly. What the way that they're working things in is the Beyond the Spider-Verse movie, or like the Spider-Verse movies are supposed to be canon as well.
Oh yeah, everything's canon.
So they're saying that because
everything's canon until it isn't.
They're saying that that's how they're going to introduce Miles Morales into this universe. That the rumor is he's going to show up in Spider-Man 3, and the backstory is going to be the animated movie or the animated movie.
4. Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man 4. And like his backstory is going to be that. So like Ben Reilly has already been introduced in Spider-Verse. So what's to say they don't bring Ben Reilly in?
It could. You know what? You're just going crazy now. We need to move on. You know what we should move on to? Something spider related.
Yeah, we can do that.
I like it, because when Venom animates, chaos elevates, and Someone's getting bitten before breakfast. Sony's swinging deep into the Venom verse. This time with animation after The Last Dance closed the curtain on Tom Hardy's live action trilogy. Oh my God, there was a trilogy? Agent Venom got iced like leftover lethal protector lore, but now rumors says Sony's gearing up for an R-rated animated Venom movie, possibly with Seth Rogen in the mix. Interesting. The studio may be aiming to expand the symbiote mythos, and if the whispers are true, we might finally get to meet Null, god of the symbiotes and cosmic goth icon. Cosmic goth icon. If this project follows in the gooey footsteps of Spider-Verse, we're looking at layered animation, multiversal madness, and emotional parasites with an identity crisis. And let's be real, Venom works best when he's weird, hungry, and morally confused. That is true. Tacos on the table. Is animated Venom Sony's next Spider-Verse or just null and void?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
put me on the big screen. Put me big.
sorry,
Put me
hold
big.
on. Go.
Is animated Venom Sony's next Spider-Verse or null and void?
What just happened?
I took him off the screen.
Oh, I'm so confused.
This is what happens when we both start pressing buttons.
Yeah, everybody's just pressing buttons and everything. So boo. The chat is not feeling you right now, James.
Hey, what did I do?
Funny.
Number one, Jen, amazing writing. Beautifully written. Number two, just the amount of like jokes that were snuck into there was
I tried.
Yes. Seth Rogen. Who do we think Seth Rogen is gonna play? Like, can you see Seth Rogen playing Noel?
No. I think he's gonna executive produce. I think he's gonna be behind the scenes.
Okay.
Like he has been in other things. Like
He's
Preacher.
gonna be the studio head.
Yeah, like yeah. Getting that Kool-Aid.
Okay with that. I love Seth Rogen when he gets his hands on comic book properties because he is so reverent to comic books and comic book lore. Like I'm imagining we're gonna get the Venom that we should have gotten in all these movies, the Null that they did not earn in the third movie. Like, like if it's animated, you can kind of just play off of the comics and not have to put all of the introductions and everything in there.
Yeah.
Because you can just play off of the comic lore at that point.
I mean,
honestly, sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. I
was going to say it would be a good test run if Venom still had legs for fans out there.
Right.
Is to do an animated movie, see how well it does. If it's
did they maul him?
Did they maul
cut him in half?
No, they did not maul him.
Oh, okay. You said legs, and I immediately thought Darth Maul, and I was like, did they cut him in half? And I didn't know about this.
It doesn't matter. He's a symbiote. Just grow it back.
Yeah,
or just crawl it back together.
The human can't that he's possessing.
No, but remember, he was paralyzed for a bit in the comics, and he and Venom would walk his ass around like a puppet.
So what I was saying was, I think they'll use that as a test run, and if it still has credibility with the fans, I think they'll do more. But it may be a good way to introduce other characters and then go from there.
Yeah,
and they all have legs. They might have multiple legs. They might have 8 legs.
They might have multiple legs.
I'm with this as long as Sony doesn't think that, oh, hey, we were successful with the Spider-Verse movies, but we're gonna get involved in this now. Like, no, stay away from it the way you guys stayed away from Spider-Verse, and let people who actually care about the characters build a property on that. Like Seth Rogen would probably do a really good job as far as like if he were executive producing. So
well, he's been involved in a couple of things. Isn't he also involved in Invincible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like, he could still do a voice because he does a voice in Invincible. So I mean, we could still get Seth Rogen on it, but I think it's a good idea. I definitely think Seth Rogen is the guy to help.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny because these guys that came up, like Kevin Smith, we know is a huge nerd, but so we know he will do a good job if you give him a comic book thing.
Which he
James
doesn't
Gunn,
think he'll do.
same thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Which he doesn't think he'll do a good job. He thinks that like keep comic book movies away from him, like a million miles away from him. But it's like, dude, he's writing new comics right now, and they're like beloved.
Yeah.
People love his writing style for the comics. So
Well, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that's what I'm saying is it's like, there are certain people that hey, these guys are nerds. But I never thought Seth Rogen was. I thought Seth Rogen was like just a stoner kid that didn't read comic books or anything. But I should have just known that he was really cool. So tacos are on the table for that. I really want him to be involved. And although I don't like Venom, I am not a Venom fan. Never have been. Think he's kind of redundant. But yeah, if it's gonna happen, Seth Rogen should be involved. Do I want it to happen? Really? I want it to be null and void, meaning the pun.
I like it.
all right, well, let's go ahead and move on, guys.
From null and void to brains, banter, and a director who treats canon like a sandbox. The DCU is barely out of the gate, and we're already talking expansion packs. James Gunn's Superman reboot just hit theaters like yesterday. But
Right.
two breakout characters, Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen, are reportedly being eyed for their own spin-off series. They call him Eddie Gathegi, Mr. Terrific, brought sleek tech and tactical brilliance to the screen, while Skylar Gassando's Jimmy Olsen stole scenes with Gen Z charm and chaotic newsroom energy. Now, Gunn's considering solo series for both. Terrifics could dive into T-Sphere's tech and maybe even tease the Terrifics, while Jimmy's might lean into Daily Planet drama with a dash of workplace comedy. It's a bold move, but very on brand for Gunn. Build a universe where even the supporting cast gets a spotlight and maybe a few memes. Tacos on the table. Is the DCU really launching spinoffs for the third smartest man alive and the reluctant Riz god? Or are we just manifesting greatness too early?
Ooh. I would love to see more of Eddie Gathigi's Mr. Terrific. He was amazing in the movie. Has by far one of the best fight scenes in the entire movie, and he does not lift a finger during that fight. He just, the way he commands those T-spheres to just knock everybody out, it's great. Jimmy Olsen, I kind of want to see why, like, he makes every woman in that movie swoon.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Jimmy as like
a ladies'
heartthrob character. Yeah, like a ladies' man, because our Jimmy is not our Jimmy. This is not our Jimmy.
You know how Superman has Superman has hypno glasses? He's got like hypno ginger
hips.
looks. He's got hypno ginger looks, and it's confusing all the girls.
He looks like a live action.
He's got hips, lips, and tricks.
He looks like a live action.
That was bad. I'm sorry.
And he just like just every girl that looks at him just kind of like swoons when they see him. You know, I want to see why they all are so obsessed with him.
It's like he's an influencer. I would like to see him as like a social influencer. Like he becomes like the social media guy of the Daily Planet. And that's kind of how we get the thing there. But really, I want it to be about him just avoiding Eve.
Oh God, that would be hilarious. Just like, or like you know, them actually showing the weird toe. her
yes.
Toe.
That would be on her OnlyFans, though.
Yeah, spoilers from the comics, guys. When he calls her weird feet, and they never explain why her feet are so weird because she has a sixth toe.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Oh.
Yeah, spoiler from the comic.
That's been out forever.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be okay with some kind of backstory on Mr. Terrific. And honestly, I want to see like how he processes things because he's always thinking so far ahead and he's always like so good at multitasking. It'd be kind of fun to see like how he prioritizes it and how his brain works.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it would
So
be good to get because he comes off a little cold in the movie.
yeah. Well, there's a parallel, if you think about it, between Michael Holt and Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lex Luthor also has a very dramatic scene where he doesn't lift a finger. And it's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It just tells you the differences of the characters and like where they come from. And yeah, no, I loved him in this. I thought Mr. Terrific, I think was fantastic. They all were fantastic in this, but I really loved him. I think we laughed the most when we saw it with him. Just his whole attitude was like, I know that attitude.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about how Lex is extremely cerebral in this, but at the same time, he doesn't get his hands dirty at all. He has other people do it for him, and it's extremely it is exactly what I wanted out of Lex.
Mm-hmm. There was so much more emotion in Lex or this version of Lex than I expected, but
When
it worked.
He blew up. Like
yeah.
He went nuts at one point, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, I almost wanted to say, "Witness me," and then I did because we were in the theater.
You should have done it. Should have just yelled "Witness me" at the top of your lungs.
Chuck gets really upset if I do stuff like that. So, like, really upset.
I'm usually the one doing that to Jackie. So,
yeah,
right.
Not allowed.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to this last rumor.
From sidekick to spotlight, DK's ready to go full ape on the big screen. Rumors suggest a standalone Donkey Kong movie is in development with Seth Rogen again returning to voice bongo smashing icon. What to expect? Jungle hijinks, banana-based economy satire, and possibly Diddy Kong causing chaos in a tiny red cap. As long as it's not baby oil, Diddy Kong. With Mario pulling in over $1 billion, it's no surprise Universal wants to expand its animated Nintendo verse, and Kong's banana horde might be getting the next golden IP. Will we get a Kingdom Kong mythology twist, a villainous turn from King K. Rule, or just 90 minutes of barrel blasting slapstick? Either way, the jungle's drums are getting louder. Tacos on the table, or maybe bananas on the table. Does Kong deserve the next Nintendo spotlight, or are we just going bananas for the IP?
I think it is a smart move on Nintendo's part to cash in on this right now because they're just about to drop another King Kong, another Donkey Kong game. You know, so now is kind of the time to capitalize on it because it's like, okay, we have this AAA Donkey Kong game that's coming out. It's all the early reviews are saying that it's one of the best games since the original Donkey Kong Country, which is kind of a big deal, right? So like, okay, we're capitalizing on this, so let's do the movie. Let's capitalize on all the steam that Donkey Kong's gonna have and make a movie out of it.
My tacos are off the table because I'm not a fan of the animated. You know, actually, no. I'm changing my mind right now.
Good.
My tacos are on the table.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because I did really enjoy Donkey Kong as a child. Or more of a child than I am now.
Did you watch the Mario movie?
I haven't yet. I need to. I still haven't watched the Minecraft movie either.
I haven't watched the Minecraft movie, but I've watched the Mario movie multiple times. It's good.
I walked in on Husby watching the Minecraft movie and said,
Dun,
"No,
dun.
no, we are not doing this."
we watch it
I
together, or
watched
we don't watch it at all.
How dare
Maybe
you?
Maybe it's his
Dare
kink.
you?
It's a kink. He
It's
wants
not.
to watch. He
Yeah.
wants to watch G-rated movies
It's not.
on the download.
He likes Momoa in pink, but not pink mimosas. Weird.
Very, very weird.
Let's move it along.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our rumors. Let's move into the download because it's time for that. So get your butts ready.
I do love that picture.
Of Donkey Kong.
The Donkey Kong picture. It's cute.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, get your butts ready. It's time for the download.
For more news, trailers, reactions, check out Distance Nerdington post on Facebook and let us know what you're nerding out on.
All right. Well, let's introduce it here. Let's bring in the game because we're ready here. This is Casting Cachet, and this week is fire. Take it away, Jen.
It's cash.
Cash.
Cachet.
Cachet.
Easy.
You know, I'm being fancy with it, okay?
Easy there for Ray, okay? With a cachet.
It's actually how you say my name.
You say it like cachet?
You said it correctly.
Exactly, for Ray. Cachet.
For Ray. So could Jean Grey finally be her MCU destiny? Elle Fanning is reportedly back in the running to play Jean Grey in Marvel's upcoming X-Men reboot, marking a potential full circle moment after losing the role in Apocalypse, allegedly due to her lower Instagram follower count at the time. Now, with Marvel's mutant saga gearing up post-Secret Wars, Fanning's name is surfacing again. Could she finally land the telepathic powerhouse role this time on talent alone?
Okay, I'm just throwing this out there now. If that was the reason she lost the role, then Fox had it all wrong. They're
Well,
just like,
Fox was the Sony before Fox
God, like Fox
was bought out.
Yeah, their entire idea was, oh, you know what? We're not going to pick her because her social media following is not as high, and it's like, so you didn't choose the better actress. Not to say that she was better in that case, but it's like you didn't choose the actress based on chemistry or how good they killed their audition. You chose the actress based on follower count.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems kind of surreal.
Yeah,
It really does.
So dumb.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree. Okay. I think that was an excuse, by the way. I think they wanted Sansa. And they just had to find a way to tell Elle that she couldn't do it.
It's still a crappy excuse.
It is. It's a crappy excuse. But,
But think who was hotter back then? Coming off Game of Thrones, like you kind of...
Yeah, no, and that's why. But it's still ridiculous.
I think that is a moot point. It's like, oh, well, they're more popular. I don't care about popularity. I care about who's gonna embody the role better.
Right. Yeah. Who has a handle on the role? Who's going to do a good job? Who's going to get the depth of the role?
Right.
But then again, it had script issues too. So let's not even say that
actually better
it was
that
all
she
her
didn't
fault
get the role
because it
at this
wasn't.
point.
Yeah. It's good that she said no now.
Way to go, Curtis.
So yeah. Woohoo!
Blame Curtis Corona. We all blame you, Curtis. You know what's funny is I say that and watch him like show up in the chat like for the first time in like 6 months.
That's usually what happens.
Okay.
From yoga flames to stretchy chaos.
Yoga flame.
Bollywood action icon Vidyut Yamwal is officially stepping into Dalsam's.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep, that's how you
Did I
said
get
it.
it right?
You got it
Oh,
right.
wow. Okay. Stretchy Shoes for Legendary's live-action Street Fighter adaptation. Known for his gravity-defying stunts and intense martial arts chops, John Wall brings real-world yoga fire to the role of the peace-loving yet powerful mystic. Dalsim's signature moves, fire breathing, teleportation, and those rubber band limbs are in good hands.
That and those abs. The arguably abs are just as good as what's his name? Who's the dude you were fanning over for a while?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, Craven guy.
Craven. Yeah.
Aaron
Taylor
Taylor Thomas? No,
Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah,
See, I've moved on so like hardcore from
So
that.
look at his abs and like look at Aaron Taylor Johnson's abs. They're pretty similar.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of pictures of him to get the right one for the feel of the story. So I am well aware of what his abs look like. And I'm also well aware of what he looks like in underwear while doing a high kick.
So
Okay.
am I. Oh, wait. Yeah.
So
Though, how tall is this guy? Because when I think of Dalsim, I think of somebody that's extremely tall. Like, we're talking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tall. You know, like,
That's
Let
not what I
me
think when I
look.
think Dawson. Dawson, because Dawson is usually floating with his legs crisscross applesauce. Dawson is usually skinny in most of his roles. I think you're thinking of Sagat.
no, I'm thinking of Dalsim. I'll look it up. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I definitely want to see like whoever plays Sagat needs to be like massive.
yeah.
And if they can get a Thai guy that's like big like that also does Muay Thai, like that'd be great because I would love.
He's
to see-
5'11".
Okay, so he's about my height.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
He's almost
in my
6
book,
feet.
in my
Yeah,
book,
in your book,
that's really tall.
that's tall.
James is like, I'm 5
In
foot.
your book, he's Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, that is definitely taller than a hobbit.
Yeah, like I said, like I'd like to see like whoever plays Dalsim. I want them, or not Dalsim. Sagat. I want to see Sagat be like a dude who's like 6'5", 6'6", and just has long ass legs and just like is a Muay Thai fighter. Like I want to see him.
So Rickson?
If Richardson was Thai.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But like built like Alan Richardson. Like think like Alan Richardson's build, but it's a Thai dude.
What if they just got like a sumo wrestler?
I mean, that would be E Honda.
Yeah.
Because E Honda
I'm just
was
saying that it's going on right now. The Nagoya Basho is going on right now. Anyway, so we will look amazing while brushing up on our mutant telepathy and stretchy yoga flames because we got merch, people.
We got merch, people. Too early again. Too early. Just wait.
Oh,
too early.
Yeah.
Gotta wait till the end of the show.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, we had it at the end of the show for a while, and I got used to it.
Well, let's jump into the first quick bite story. We're into the quick bites now.
AMC Theaters is doubling down on midweek deals. The world's largest cinema chain is expanding its popular discount program by offering 50% off movie tickets on both Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But there's a catch. You have to be an AMC Stubs member, part of the chain's broader strategy to bring more people into theaters during typically slower days. This replaces the old $5 Tuesdays deal and brings the prices in line with AMC's recent introduced 50% off Wednesdays. AMC is sweetening the deal, offering discounts on its small popcorn and drink combo on both days. All right, AMC. With over 36 million people enrolled in AMC's Stub program, which is free at the basic tier, this new offer might just give hesitant moviegoers a reason to head back to the theater, at least on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Too
Well,
bad.
not on a Tuesday.
Oh,
because
yeah,
we
no,
do Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So
Right.
You can
we
go
have
earlier
Tuesdays.
or
too
later.
bad there's
Yeah.
no AMC in Sacramento.
There isn't at
You
all.
guys,
No, my boss tried to give us AMC tickets as a prize a while back, and we learned quick there's no AMC in Sacramento. Sacramento has Cinemark and
Regal.
Regal. The closest
Wow.
AMC was in Brentwood.
That's crazy. Because
Up
like
no
we
good.
have all
Brentwood.
those. We have
Wow.
AMC. AMC's closest to us. It's like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, so
And
maybe we can
then we've
capitalize on
got
it.
Cinemark, Regal. But to be honest with you, there's not a super ton to do in Oklahoma.
Right.
So
Hey, fun fact: here in Sacramento, there's no AMC, but AMC theaters they do show the movie Sacramento. I'm just saying.
The irony behind that.
Exactly.
Sacramento
that's
also.
like Nicole
you saying no-
Kidman up in her AMC contract and then
Well-
them cutting most of it out.
Hold on, Chuck is
Like
saying
a-
we don't have an NBA team. We have the Kings.
No, he's saying there's not one in Tulsa. There's not
Oh.
an NBA team in Tulsa. We have an Oklahoma team. It's OKC Thunder. Hey, they're the NBA champs. Anyway, that's the team we have. So we have to go to Oklahoma City to watch.
That's what I was gonna say. I was
NBA.
gonna say, aren't they in Oklahoma City?
It is an NBA team. They won the championship. You hush, Husby.
He's yelling from the other room saying they're not.
Oh,
NBA.
you were saying the King? No, he's sitting in front of me.
He's talking smack.
He's like,
Kings.
yeah, he's talking smack.
It's fine.
Aw.
I'm a
He's
Warriors
trash
fan.
talking.
It's
You
okay.
have-
I'm a Warriors fan, so I really don't care. But I'm just like throwing facts out there that Sacramento
Yeah.
does have an NBA team. Whether you like it or
barely,
not.
barely.
Are you
It's that-
sure they're not an ABA?
It's they. It
Ouch.
could have been
Oh,
76 years.
Oh!
76 years since the last time they were in some kind of final.
Playoffs. Yeah.
And that 76 years ago when they were in the finals, they were beat by the Warriors. So I will continue to be a Warriors fan. I was actually at James's house when the Warriors beat the Kings, and I remember his brother getting upset.
Well,
Warriors fan.
I think it's cute that you guys like the Warriors and the Lakers and all that, but sorry about ya. Spurs are getting ready to come back and kick y'all's asses.
Well, to be fair, I've been a Warriors fan since like the 90s, and that's when I first started like caring about basketball. So
Me too.
anyways, we will talk sports all day, and this is not a podcast about sports ball. So let's go ahead and continue on here.
Puns,
But the,
paper, and peacock.
Yeah.
Set in the same universe as The Office, the paper picks up where the documentary crew that once chronicled the strange lives of Dunder Mifflin's Scranton branch, Peacock has officially set the stage for The Office's spiritual successor. The paper, a new mockumentary comedy from The Office creator Greg Daniels and Michael Coman, will premiere with 4 episodes dropping on release day. After that, expect 2 episodes every Thursday through September 25th. The paper is landing on doorsteps and on Peacock September 4th.
I was wondering what they were gonna name the show and what it was gonna be. I mean, the name being the paper makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting
Domhnall
because
Gleeson's in it.
wasn't the Office about a paper company?
Right.
Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
excited.
seen it, but I know that.
I wonder if Dunder Mifflin supplied the paper to the paper.
They probably
I-
still do.
I bet they did. I bet they did.
Right. What's interesting is like if you look at the picture that's on the screen, Toledo Truth Teller. So are they in Toledo?
It's not on the screen now. It is. Yeah, Toledo Truth Teller. That's what it sounds. Yeah, Toledo. Oh, Ohio. Ugh.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to see this. I used to love The Office.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if at some point they have a crossover episode. So like, they're having like issues and like, oh, we can't get paper because that would be a good situational thing for that kind of show. Like, hey, our paper delivery didn't come in. We don't have paper to print the paper on. So then they have to
Yeah.
go to Scranton and figure out what the heck's going on, and they cross over with like you get a cameo from partial cast of The Office.
I think
Yeah.
Oscar Martinez is supposed to be in this
Right.
as
So
well.
it'll interesting. It'll be interesting to see what role he's taking in. Like, oh, I left Dunder Mifflin and now I work for the Toledo Truth Teller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be funny.
I'm into it. I like it.
All right. Well, let's continue on here. Oh, I know.
From analog media to digital media, more murder, more
Murderbot
Jenny,
media.
more bot feelings. Apple TV has officially given the green light for more rogue robots watching soap operas. Season 2 of Murderbot is happening. Season 2 is set to dive even deeper into the strange space between cold machine logic and emotional messiness of being, well, human adjacent. Expect more raging bots and murderous machinery in Murderbot sometime in late 2026.
So
Have you guys watched that?
I love Murderbot.
Okay.
Jen watches
I've
it.
watched all of them.
It's
Yeah, I
on
watched
my
all of
list.
it.
Yeah, it's on my list of things to watch. I've got to watch it. I'm always behind on Apple TV shows though, so it's like
It's such a weird show, but it's
really
so funny.
good.
And every
It's
single time,
irreverent.
every single time, because it's only like 25 minutes, every single time they do a cliffhanger on every episode, and they get me every single time. Like, what the what? Huh? That's it? I'm like, no way.
I
But
know, right?
it's a funny show.
Like there's like really good, like there's shows that really suck you in on the cold open, and then you go,
Mhm.
"What? That was a cold open?" But this one sucks you in and then pushes you off a cliff every
Yeah.
week because of the cliffhangers. But it's so good, and Alexander Skarsgård in it is so phenomenal. He is
Mhm.
so funny in it.
so
And especially the last one. Have you seen the last one yet,
Mhm.
James?
Yeah.
Oh, was that not heartbreaking? And David Dastmalchian was so cute in
Dastmalchian,
it.
yeah.
Anyway, Dastmalchian,
so
sorry.
so like I was kind of already in for Alexander Skarsgård and David Smolchin, but then I found out that John Cho and Jack McBrayer are in the soap opera portions of it.
And Clark Gregg.
Yeah, on Clark Gregg's in it too. Like the minute I heard John Cho and Jack McBrayer, because I love Jack McBrayer, he's so ridiculous in everything he's in.
Mhm.
And I love John Cho just because that dude, he can play serious. He always plays straight man, but he plays comedy so well.
Oh, this is like it's like Star Trek meets telenovela.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from what I hear. So I
So,
definitely
it is so good.
and it's this is supposed to be a soap opera that's in his head, right?
Well, he's watched
No.
the show. It's like he has it like
Yeah.
on a streamer, and he downloads shows,
Oh, okay.
and he runs out of certain amount of space, and he's like, well, I want to finish the next season of this show, so I need to get rid of stuff on my hard drive.
Okay. I thought he was like making it up in his head, and it's like that's 1,000 times funnier.
Oh no, it's
fun.
like an actual show, and it actually is kind of like a C plot in the whole universe. It's pretty funny. Like a lot of people know what the show is, but it's funny. But we don't want to spoil
there's some
anything. You
good
guys should
payoffs.
watch it.
There's
Yeah,
some
I
good
definitely
payoffs
need to
with it.
watch it. I definitely need to check this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to check out the next story, sir.
Oh,
How about that?
definitely. So moving on from there, Scarlett Johansson just made box office history again. Thanks to the roaring success of Jurassic World Rebirth, Johansson has officially become the highest grossing Hollywood actor of all time, overtaking a handful of her Marvel co-stars to claim the top spot. Johansson's films have now grossed a staggering $14.85 billion worldwide. That figure includes her latest dino-sized blockbuster, Jurassic World Rebirth, which opened to over $300 million globally, as well as past heavy hitters like Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, both of which easily cleared the 1 billion mark, and that's billion with a B. Long live.
I'm surprised she's not at a trillion.
I know, right? Long live the box office queen, Scarlett Johansson, turning ticket stubs into milestones 1 billion at a time, and still being one of the hottest women in Hollywood.
Colin Jost thinks so.
Yeah, I guarantee Colin Jost is thanking himself every
Thanking
day.
his lucky stars.
Yes.
Thanking them.
Like
every freaking day.
This is proof that if you're funny, you can pull the greatest women.
Yep.
It's interesting. The rest of this list, they're all in Marvel, like big time players in Marvel. Like Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Downey Jr., Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt. They're all right there, like 14.1 billion and higher. So I think Samuel L. is the next one. But, with Robert Downey Jr., he's going to have Doomsday coming up and Secret War.
That's why he came back.
A lot of them are also, only A-listers because they were a part of Marvel, which is,
yeah,
crazy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Except
it's an Ouroboros.
Yeah, except for Sam. Sam Jackson was already an A-lister by the time he got there. So
Sam Jackson's always been an A-lister, even when he was playing Meth Head #1.
Yeah.
All right. Gonna keep it going.
Let's go ahead and move on here.
But he was our only hope.
Hello there.
Anyways, despite recent rumors suggesting a return to Disney Plus, Lucasfilm has reportedly shut down speculation stating that there are no current plans for a second season of Obi-Wan. That flicker of hope sparked by insider buzz and Ewan McGregor's own enthusiasm has been snuffed out, at least for now. McGregor has been vocal about wanting to revisit the character, even pitching ideas like a Clone Wars era story that would explore Obi-Wan's emotional fallout and possibly reunite him with Anakin in flashbacks. But Lucasfilm seems focused on other projects, and with a streaming output reportedly being scaled back, Kenobi may remain a one-season wonder. So unless someone finds a hidden holocron labeled Season 2 of Obi-Wan, it looks like we won't be saying hello there again anytime soon.
Move along.
And that's the look that Ewan McGregor gave everyone who told him no.
That's what Disney told you and
That's the
McGregor.
picture.
Disney straight up said,
Move along.
That's so messed up. Like I'm not happy about this because I kind of want a season 2. More so just because I want to see more Ewan McGregor. Like he is so interesting to watch, especially as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
It's so hard with stuff like that because, like, Alec Guinness was the one that started the role, and then you have him in the prequel sequels, and then it's like, well, I want to see him do more Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff. But I mean, then it's kind of like, well, he does that, and then he's in Star Wars. And so it's like, we don't want to remake well, maybe we should remake Star Wars.
Don't do that. Don't.
I think Lucas already tried special edition.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Special editions. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he did try to do that already.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I still have hope. I'm gonna have a little bit of hope. Comic-Con's right around the corner. Maybe we'll get a special surprise. Who knows?
I would like to see, if he's not going to get a second season, even if he does get a second season, I'd still like to see him on Ahsoka. It wasn't just her and Anakin. Like, she got taught a lot by freaking Obi-Wan as well.
Yeah.
I think, they could do that.
He was like the cool uncle.
Yeah.
Unc.
The
Unc Obi-Wan.
Unc. Yeah. Absolutely. From one uncle to another.
That's right. Let's that's actually Actually, decent transition right there. Back to the basics, but with more Peter Tingles. By Peter Tingles, I mean the kind that are in his head. Not well, I guess that's okay, never mind. In a recent interview, Holland teased that Spider-Man Brand New Day will lean into old school filmmaking, ditching sound stages for real-world locations. The first major set piece is being built right now into the streets of Glasgow, and Holland says it's going to feel like making Homecoming all over again. After the COVID era restrictions of No Way Home, he's excited to get back to practical sets and grounded storytelling. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air, Holland said. Fans are going to be over the moon with what we're putting together. He also called the film a fresh start, hinting at more intimate, emotionally driven chapter for Peter Parker, one that rebuilds the character from the ground up after the memory wipe fallout of No Way Home. With no MJ to fall back on, who's Peter swinging into next? New suit and new emotional trauma. Young love and rooftops.
All right. More
Okay.
practical sets. I like it.
I like that it seems like we're getting a renaissance of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think it like Andor, I think, started it again. And I think everybody's really now, and we have the volume, which helps a lot, especially if you have,
Yeah.
I don't know, like really huge dragons that you need to put in something.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, like, yeah, why not go on the set, like go to places? I kind of miss that. I'm glad they're doing that.
And I mean, that's what Star Wars built itself on is all the practical
Mhm.
sets and the practical effects and everything like that. With
And then rebuilt itself or created a division that's just CGI.
right,
as
and
well.
then they
So.
landed with a hybrid that looked good in the sequel trilogies. People didn't like the movies, but like they landed on a good for anything else, it looked good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I get it. I think it's cool. I'm pretty happy about it. I love me some Tom Holland. I miss
Yeah.
that little tyke. Let's get him back into the PJs and get him,
I think overall Hollywood
swinging.
is finding its balance between practical and CGI. They're finding out what works and what doesn't work, and I think as fans, as viewers, we're able to see the stuff that doesn't work, and it just takes us out of it. So immediately we're like, nope, we don't like it.
Right.
Get your crappy effects out of here.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I heard I haven't seen it yet, but I heard Jurassic Park Rebirth has some bad effects, even down to like the dolphins, which like
Really?
they could have got they
Oh.
CGI'd some dolphins when they could have like, hey, let's go take some B-roll of some actual dolphins. But
Well, considering what the Dolphins do, you couldn't really.
hey, you can make dolphins get rings, like jump through hoops.
So they're Sonic the Hedgehog.
Don't you talk bad
They're
about
smarter than Sonic the Hedgehog. They'd leave Earth first chance they got.
Right. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
dolphins.
Exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and move on,
Speaking
guys.
of getting out of the out of your world, off Earth.
Galactus is bringing the hunger, and the Fantastic Four are serving. Fans who caught the 30-minute preview of Fantastic Four First Steps in Brazil are calling it super fun, colorful, and genuinely moving. And early reactions say it's not just good, it's end game level good. Okay,
Nice.
slow down, Brazil. Slow down. The retro futuristic 1960s setting gives the film a unique vibe with flying cars, vintage tech, and a family dynamic that's front and center. Reed and Sue's relationship is a standout. Johnny's comic timing lands, and Ben brings emotional weight. Oh, and baby Franklin makes an appearance, adding heart to the cosmic stakes. The Silver Surfer reportedly steals the show and the looming threat of Galactus is teased with just enough dread to keep fans breathless. Breathless?
Breathless.
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 Breathless. Yeah, breathless.
That's good. Yeah.
Breathless is a different thing.
Hey, Frank.
That would be
Frank,
called a
don't clip that.
mastectomy.
Stop that!
Frank, don't clip that. CGI.
I'd call them
flawless
Amazons.
Chemistry, tangible, and the tone. Think The Incredibles meets Interstellar with a smash of Kirby era charm. I'm excited for this.
So have you guys seen what Pedro Pascal has been posting on his social media?
What's up?
He had somebody draw pictures of Superman and Mr. Fantastic, like fist bumping and
That's awesome.
and all that, and he's calling it Super Fantastic.
I think that's great. That's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, he's
Super
saying
Fantastico.
he's saying it's the summer of the superheroes, and that they are they're gonna like dominate the box office this summer.
I'm glad that he's not taking it as a we need to beat them, they need to beat us, and that he's really embracing that. But I mean, that's Pedro, guys. I love him.
He's taking it the
He's
same
so
way.
dad.
Yeah, he's taking it the same way we take it. Is I'm not like gonna go like, oh, I'm gonna go see Superman. No, I'm not gonna go see Fantastic Four. Like, dude, I'm gonna watch all of it, and I'm probably gonna watch them multiple times. So I mean,
Oh, definitely.
Let's rewind a month. We knew that we're gonna have Jurassic Park, Superman, and Fantastic Four in July.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your order of like hypeness? Like what were you excited for the most?
For me, it was Superman, Fantastic Four, then Jurassic World. Superman did not disappoint. Superman is an amazing movie.
Hey. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
No, I'm not going any further than that. Fantastic Four has me hype. Jurassic World was fun. I wouldn't say it was an amazing movie, but it was fun. It was a fun movie. Just the kaiju aspect of it kind of just made it a little bit weird. But
Jen, how about you?
It's hot kaiju summer. It's not superhero summer. I mean, we understand that, but it is. It's hot kaiju summer because there are kaijus in every single one of these freaking movies.
Right.
So it was Superman, Fantastic Four, and actually it was Fantastic Four first for a little bit, but a month ago it was Superman, Fantastic Four,
Jurassic Park. A long time ago.
I think that says that she didn't want to see Jurassic World. She wasn't. She didn't care too much about that one.
I got overloaded on dinosaurs when Shadu was a small child.
You'll wait another couple million years for the dinosaurs to come back.
But I'm just saying, I can wait until it comes out on streaming.
There are fun aspects to that movie. I mean, again, we saw the premiere for it, but I mean, like, there were very fun aspects to that movie.
And clearly, Scarlett Johansson doesn't need my help. So,
right, because she's now, one of the highest selling actresses in all of Hollywood.
No, the highest grossing actor
at the moment. Until
it didn't say actress.
Right. I mean, of all actors, she is the highest grossing actor. Again,
of all time.
That's for the moment because Pedro can steal that.
He's not there.
I don't know about Pedro. Pedro is not in the $14 billion club.
No, he's not yet. He's getting there, but he's not yet.
Okay, going back to it, I think for me a month ago, it was Fantastic Four, Superman, Jurassic Park. Superman blew me out of the water. I was so impressed with it.
I know, right?
And honestly, I think it raises the bar for Fantastic Four now. And I think it'll say a lot about Fantastic Four if it can carry the hype the way Superman has carried the hype.
Right.
So
yeah. I felt better. So when I saw Thunderbolts, I was like, okay, all right. I think they've turned a corner. We're seeing new stuff. This seems more grounded. It seems more character driven. I'm hoping they continue that with Fantastic Four. It looks like they are. So I'm pretty happy about how Fantastic Four seems to be shaping up. And I do love that there's love between them and it's not like, oh, we gotta, ooh, you know. But yeah, Superman, then Fantastic Four. But I'm really excited. I'm like ready to see Fantastic Four now.
Mm-hmm. I'm
And you know what
excited
else
for it.
I'm ready to see? I'm ready to see a very dysfunctional Private Eye.
So am I. Take it away, Jen.
She's looking for more alcohol. I hope Matt stocked up. Kristen Ritter has confirmed she'll return in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and she's been sitting on the secret for 2 years.
I knew she knew when they interviewed her. I knew it.
She knew. She knew when she had on that t-shirt and she was running on the treadmill. She knew then. Anyway, according to Ritter, slipping back into Jessica's boots felt like no time had passed, and the vibe is still gritty, grounded, and deeply personal. She teased cool stunts, a celebratory reunion with Charlie Cox, and I would like that, and a tone that honors the Netflix series while expanding Jessica's role in the wider MCU. Ritter also hinted that Jessica's return is thanks to fan demand and that she's thrilled to be part of the street level resistance rising against Fisk's grip on New York. While filming wrapped and the show set to premiere in March 2026, it looks like Hell's Kitchen is about to get a whole lot moodier because sometimes justice needs a little side eye and a shot of Malort.
Oh God. She's not in Chicago. Why would we bring up Malort? That's why.
Malort doesn't just live in Chicago, dude.
Malort needs
Malort
to stay in Chicago.
is national. It's international. It's universal.
Obviously,
And let's face it, if somebody's going to drink it, it's going to be Jessica Jones.
That's fact.
you're not wrong. Malort is also in New Jersey. We know this because Ming Chen makes everybody drink it. So
yeah, it's everywhere you want to be.
It's everywhere.
And a few places you don't want to be.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's. I am excited for this. I do. I've been calling Jessica Jones to be in this since way back when they announced that they were doing Daredevil Born Again, and I was a little disappointed when she didn't show up in the series, but that again, my speculation popped back in again because in the season finale, they started kind of making it seem like he's going to start building a team, and it's like, well, if he's building a team, there's only one, or not one, but like one group of people that he needs to go and recruit, right? And that's we're this is their way of bringing back in the Defenders, right? And it seems like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, the Defenders plus maybe we'll get a Shang-Chi. No, he's on the other side of it. Maybe She-Hulk will come in. No,
She-Hulk,
they don't need another tank.
Well, but She-Hulk,
Wong. They're gonna get a Wong. They're gonna get Wong.
She-Hulk could be fun mainly because she already has a relationship with Matt.
Yeah.
At this point, right? So there is a relationship, the established relationship with Jennifer and Matt at this point. But at the same time, bringing in Jessica, bringing in Luke, bringing in redeeming. I'm not even just going to say bringing in, but redeeming Iron Fist, because we need redemption for him. And getting a comic book accurate version of that character.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then also because they had Kamala's dad in there, do you think maybe she might show up?
It's possible. I think it was just an Easter egg more than anything, just to show the interconnectivity of the world.
Okay.
Like I think it was more of just a let's show everybody that this is firmly planted in the MCU. Here are characters that are in other Marvel properties. That just kind of shows that it's the same universe.
Right. What about Kate Bishop? She lives in New York, or she did.
Kate Bishop could be fun, and she would be a street level character. Kind of like join in. But I mean, even if that means that we were to get Clint back.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening though.
I don't either. I don't think we'll get Clint just because of what's going on with Jeremy Renner. But I mean,
Yeah, I think that's.
I would love to see that though.
I don't think you're getting
Yeah.
Kate Bishop back because Haley Steinfeld is making Sinners money these days now. So
That doesn't mean she's not going to come back for that.
So I'm just saying.
She's already
Sinners money is not the same as MCU money.
Yeah, she's already said how much she loves that role.
Yeah, she loves Kate. So I think.
What
I
happened to
think she'll
Jeremy
be
Renner?
okay.
They said, let's cut your pay in half and come back for a season.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's true.
All right, then. We'll see.
But the thing is that those are characters they're trying to push, whereas Jeremy
Yeah.
Renner is a character that like they're kind of like phasing out.
We'll see. We shall
Uh-huh.
see. All right, let's keep it going.
Keep it going. All right. Well, again, let's talk about this because it's time to talk about this. Maybe that's the real punk rock. This is the real punk rock. Okay, because this movie was punk rock. All right, James Gunn's Superman has officially launched the DCU with a bang, pulling in $217 million globally, a $122 million domestic debut, and $95 million overseas. Actually, as of this morning, they were just over $217 million domestically.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just the weekend. That's
Yeah,
just
so
the weekend.
I'm excited. They pulled in like another like 12 million this morning alone. That makes it the biggest solo Superman opening ever, surpassing Man of Steel's 116.6 million domestic haul. It's also Gunn's second best opening behind Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and the first DC film to cross 100 million domestically since Wonder Woman in 2017.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Critics gave it an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, while audiences are loving it with a 94% score. With a $225 million production budget and an estimated $100 million in marketing, Warner Brothers is betting big on this reboot. And while Gunn has dismissed the idea that it needs to hit $700 million to be considered a success, the studio is clearly positioning Superman as the cornerstone of a new 10-year DCU roadmap. In today's landscape, is box office alone still the measure of success, or does cultural impact, fan engagement, and franchise momentum matter more than the final dollar count? And I will tell you 100% the first part. Cultural impact, fan engagement, I feel like that is something that is way more important in the case of this. Now, money is one thing, monetary, it monetarily making being successful is one thing, but like this is changing the entire zeitgeist. It's changing what comic book movies are capable of being. Like with Marvel, we got more comic book accurate stuff, right? And
Right.
things that are like, okay, let's honor the comics. This is a comic book on screen.
Mhm.
You know,
But not like Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
oh yeah, well that's different. Zack Snyder's Watchmen was and 300 were both scene for scene recreations of the comic. But I mean,
Mhm.
with Superman, the way that it is, again, it is very much in that vein of being the comic books, right? Like I don't think that the money is as important as it is changing the conversation and changing the way people think about things. If you see what's happening on social media when it comes to this movie, there's a combination of, you have all the trolls that are complaining about it, saying it's the worst movie ever, it's so woke. It's obvious none of them have seen this movie, right? But for people
And
who have,
actually don't know the character of Superman.
oh yeah, no, that's my favorite part, is when people say Superman, what they made Superman woke. Like, you guys don't know anything about Superman, do you?
Yeah.
Superman's been kind of
Oh,
for a
sweet
long
summer
time.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of Superman being was it truth, justice, in the American way, right? The American way didn't come into the picture until the 50s, and that was because they were trying to become anti-Red Scare. So Superman, the way they evolved it is the American way is treating people with dignity and treating people right and that's Superman's American way, right?
Mhm.
That his parents
Mhm.
taught him to not be a dick. Again, what I love about this movie is the Boy Scout nature of Superman, right? You don't have this dark, brooding, I'm angry Superman. You don't have this, I want to prove that I'm the strongest guy in existence. No, you have a Superman that's playing backup to everybody else and saving squirrels.
Mhm.
Yes.
Though he did show frustration, like
He did.
the argument with Lois when they were doing the interview. Like, I love that part of the movie because it showed like he's like, "I'm doing good. I saved lives."
Yeah.
And like it breaks
Yes.
down to like all the political junk goes out the window. He's like, "I saved lives. That's what matters."
Mhm.
And
So,
it shows that he's human.
yeah.
I mean, he's not human, but I mean, like, morally, he's human, right? And that's the whole thing is like, yeah, I mean, he says it in the movie. Spoilers for a single line, but I'm human just like the rest of us, right? And I mean, like,
Yeah.
the thing about him is he considers himself human because of the morality that his parents instilled in him, and that morality is what makes him a superior character, is what makes him such a great character in general.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is that it's re-injecting that into the entire conversation is being a good person over trying to be strong or anything like that. And Clark proves that he is what we aspire to be,
Mhm.
as it should be.
I think that this movie is going to make its money back. No question about
Oh, yeah.
it. Is it going to go over? Is it going to make 700 million? Probably not.
They're only
But
like 10 million away. So I mean,
what it
from breaking
what it does, it creates a cornerstone, a building block to build the rest of the DCU around. And that goes for movies and TV shows and animated features and merchandise. This is going to set the stage for the next 10 years about what DC is going to do with their products.
right.
And it works.
Have y'all wound down now? Did you guys get it all out? You talk it out.
We did, because we're going to continue talking about everything
Ooh,
going
got
on.
kryptonite in my
Oh no,
veins.
I'm not done yet. I haven't even started.
Oh, please.
That's why I wanted to know if you were done. All right. So I have many thoughts.
Yeah.
I will not spoil anything, but there are a lot of parallels in the movie between good guys and bad guys, and
Yeah.
and it's a perspective movie just as much as it is a superhero movie. Like how everyone sees the world, you actually get to see that in all these characters.
Yeah.
So their attitudes um, show how they see the world. And Superman's attitude is a small town Kansas boy. His dad doesn't talk much. There are a lot of down home country boys that don't talk that much, but they got a lot to say, and they say it with few words, and that's his dad. His mom, sweet as can be, rural mom who just cares about her boy more than anything in the whole world. And you've got this kid that grew up taking care of his parents, taking care of everyone that he came across. He is kindness personified. I can boil down what this movie does versus Man of Steel. And I tried really hard not to make it like versus, but Man of Steel really is the last Superman we really got. So, and this is not about Henry Cavill at all. I think Henry Cavill did a really great job. I think Ben Affleck did a really great job. But what James Gunn's Superman does, and this is how I say it, is Man of Steel talked about hope. They talked about it through the whole movie. James Gunn's Superman conveys hope.
Yeah.
And they
Embodied
never mention it. You are hopeful during that movie. Throughout the whole movie, no matter how bad it gets, you're hopeful. and you think, well, yeah, everything's going to turn out okay. This is Superman. This is Superman. He's going to make it right. And so that's the difference. That James Gunn said, we can't do this in our world. We have to do it in another world. And so he created a whole nother universe that this is every day to people. When the kaiju comes out, and this is in the trailer, people, when the kaiju comes out, they don't run. They get their phones out. They start filming it. Because it's normal for them. It's like the Midwest having tornadoes. We all go out on the porch, have a beer, and record it.
Oh my God!
I mean, how many?
I was talking about how much of a Boy Scout Clark is in this movie, and it's like two things stand out when he fights the kaiju. One, he tries so hard to make it not land on stuff and like not land on people and break buildings and stuff. Two, when the moment happens, he gets so upset. Right, because he almost thought it was almost like he wanted to like rescue a puppy kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it just cracked.
Yeah, he's
me
like,
like I said,
really?
I'm not trying to
Like,
spoil
yeah,
it, I mean, like when the moment happens, right? When the moment
Oh,
all three of us know about when that happens, right? It's like he gets so upset, and I was just
Did you all notice that every other single character cursed but him?
Oh, that
Every
makes sense.
other sentient, except the robots. But although I'm pretty sure they would if they could. But everybody except him.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, I was going back to what you said about.
I was like, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, going back to what you said about Zack Snyder's Superman, the theme was hope. I think Gunn's Superman, the theme is humanity and what it means to be human.
Yeah.
And I think that came out really, really well in this film.
Well, I mean, and it can be summed up with maybe that's the real punk rock. That's it. Maybe kindness is the real punk rock.
Kindness is the real punk rock. Look at
when you meet most punks, most punk rockers, most punks are usually the nicest people in existence. They just look.
I know. I married one.
That's right. I mean, they just look like when you look at them, it's like, oh yeah, piercings everywhere, or like when we're talking about like stereotypical, like with the stereotype punks, right? You have like, you know, chains everywhere and you know, kind of like ripped up clothing and
way to
mohawks,
stereotype people.
Like I'm saying stereotypes.
Way to go.
I just said stereotypical punks, right? The people that you look at and immediately, at least normal people, I guess I would consider myself not normal in this case.
How dare you?
Your average person, like your average person would look at a punk and just be kind of like off-put or afraid of them, but they are the nicest people.
They are. They're like bikers. Like there are a lot of like bikers that are super sweet and helpful. Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know.
It's like covered in tattoos that will go save a cat for you. Like those are the kind of people.
Oh, definitely. And so, but I feel like that's it. It's Man of Steel talked about hope. James Gunn Superman conveys hope.
Right.
And that's the through line. Don't need to talk about it if you're embodying it.
Speaking of bodies.
Yep.
Who's got the
But specifically, James Gunn's DCU is here. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your
By
butts.
year's end, Gunn expects to read 2 Batman scripts. One for Batman Part 2, continuing Matt Reeves' noir-soaked Gotham with Robert Pattinson, or as we affectionately call him, Rob Pat. And another for the Brave and the Bold, the DCU's in-universe reboot, likely introducing a new Caped Crusader. There's even speculation that this Batman could debut earlier in a world's finest team up with Superman, but don't expect tonal consistency. Gunn's DCU is designed to be radically diverse, from Superman's hopeful American to Clayface's R-rated body horror, Supergirl's space fantasy, and Sergeant Rock's gritty war drama. Each film is its own flavor, inspired by the tonal range of DC comics themselves, from All-Star Superman to Watchmen. And yes, it's all leading somewhere. Gunn and Safran's long-term plan includes 2 live-action films and multiple shows per year, slowly reintroducing icons like Batman and Wonder Woman before uniting them in a new Justice League. But Gunn's playing the long game. No rushed crossovers, no forced synergy, just a universe built brick by brick, genre by genre. Is James Gunn's DCU the genre-hopping cure for superhero burnout? Or just another cape in a crowded closet?
This is 100% what DC needs. And not only that, not only that, this is the formula that Marvel ran for the longest time, was different tones and different genres within Marvel, and then the team ups happened and you got everything kind of together.
Well, and then they just fucking abandoned it. That's really what it is. They abandoned it. Like, we watched Captain America Brave New World yesterday or Saturday night or Sunday night, one of the nights. And I was thinking, why didn't they give Sam something else to do? We saw Steve do what Sam did in that movie. He faced off against somebody just like Winter Soldier, someone that he was gaining the respect of. Like, they had a relationship. Was it his best friend? No, it wasn't his best friend, because Steve's on the moon. Come on. But I was just like, why are they rehashing this? They had an ex-widow. They had freaking Bucky in it. Now, granted, I love me some Sebastian Stan, and he can be in every single freaking MCU movie and DC movie. Let's bring him over to DC. I don't care who he plays. Let's just do it. He's amazing. I love him. But I'm like, well, I was thinking about it. It was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. Did it have problems? Yes, it did. But I was just like, man, it feels like they just rehashed Winter Soldier. They didn't do anything new. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it had some really cool things, like the president between those in that weird glass coffin. And then, like, I say that, but it's not really a glass coffin. It's when he was doing the like
Speech.
little baby Tiamat. And but then I was like, why did it take so long for Tiamat? I feel like this movie was supposed to come out much sooner. And also, I feel like they did a disservice to Sam's Captain America. They should have given him something else to do.
Honestly, I feel like they probably should have kept it around the Serpent Society.
Yeah, something like that. Something different.
Yeah. Like, I feel like they should have leaned into the espionage a little bit more, and less of the big set piece, hey, we want to find a way to shoehorn in the Red Hulk, and kind of like every way that they did that. Like, I kind of understand where they were going. It was kind of like a back end Hulk movie, but like at the same time, that wasn't what they that wasn't the direction they should have went in. They should have went somewhere more where it was, the stakes were higher for Sam, like focusing on the relationship between him and the other version of Captain America,
Isaiah Bradley.
They should have brought in Patriot. They Elijah, right? They should have focused more on Serpent Society. There should have been more with them on the ground level. Right.
I would have liked to seen that. I think they got scared. I think originally that was it. I think Skrulls were going to be in this. I think Secret Invasion, I think they were going to move it to that and bring in Ross as the president, and this was happening. And then Ross turns into Hulk, and that's just another layer of bullshit that Sam has to deal with. And I would have been fine with that. But Secret Invasion bombed, and they got scared, and they panicked, and then that Kang shit happened, and then they panicked even more, and so they went, well, we're just gonna, and Harrison Ford said, oh, you want me to take over as Ross? I'll do that, sure. And they went, we're bringing in Red Hulk, everybody. And then everything else went out the fucking window. And like I said, it was a good, solid movie. I'm not saying it wasn't, but if Chris Evans had been there and he was still playing Captain America, it would have played exactly the same. And it's really just a rehash of Winter Soldier. They even had the scene where, like, there was a person on a freaking operating table and somebody comes in and, and they just look ahead and they don't really look at each other. They did that in Winter Soldier with Nick Fury. I mean, I was like, ugh. I was just really frustrated, and I'm really mad for Anthony Mackie.
One of the best scenes in the movie was early on when he's fighting the Serpent Society. And it's like they should have stuck with that, because that opening scene, that introduction of him fighting off all the Serpent Society and then dealing with Giancarlo Esposito and all of that, like, that was what I was hoping the whole movie was going to be, was more along that.
Wait, was that the one on a boat? Oh, wait, no. That was Winter Soldier with the Batroc.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or they had to get something back.
They brought Batroc into this, too, yeah.
No, they didn't. What I'm saying is that opening scene was almost exactly like the boat scene from Captain America Winter Soldier.
Well, okay, so we've got to get back on track. But, like,
sorry, we just saw this, and I'm like, Urgh. And I loved Superman, and I cannot wait for all this DC stuff. Let me bring it back in. I think we're gonna have great couple of decades with James Gunn at the helm of DCU. I think he's on a good thing. I hope nobody panics and they continue this 10-year plan and they do not deviate from it, because I think it's going to be fucking amazing.
I think James knows what he's doing, right, James?
I do. I totally know what I'm doing.
If they do go the route of doing World's Finest, I want it to be opposing kind of like tones with the two characters. I want Superman to be that happy Boy Scout, and I want Bruce to be the almost like dark, downer, gritty guy, almost like how they did it with the animated series, where they never changed Bruce's tone, even going into team up movies and shows. Right, like Bruce still had that dark tone, but it played well when it played against Superman's bright, like kind of bright tone.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, like, if they do a World's Finest, I would like to say that I totally forgot it. Superman, Batman. No, okay, here's what I wanted to say. I think we got a little bit of that with, there's that one scene with him and Mr. Terrific towards the end of the movie, and there's a building involved. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. I feel like that might be the way that it happens. Like, I think some of the, like, more snarky stuff that Batman will say Superman might hear it differently. And so it's gonna, like, Superman's gonna think their relationship's on one level and Batman's gonna think like it's on the other level. And as we know, Superman always wins in that situation. So they're gonna be best friends. But I think Bruce is gonna fight it every step of the way. But yeah, I think that's what they'll do. I think we need, but I think also bringing a Robin into it with Batman, I think that's going to be interesting. And I think if we had a Robinless Batman, I think it might be too much of a tonal shift. But since we are getting a Robin with Batman, I think they'll work better together that way.
I said this a while back, and this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say before we move on, because we do have to move on. I've been saying probably for the last week and a half that eventually I want to see Damien go down the road of comic spoilers here, because this is in the comics, so it's not necessarily going to happen in the DCU. Giving you guys that warning right now. Damien dies in the comics. Damien gets brought back using Clark's DNA and temporarily has Superman's powers. They wear off after.
Oh, we talked about this last week, didn't we?
I think we may have. I want to see Damien and Jonathan Kent and their adventures going off and doing weird stuff together. And then, by that point, by the end of the movie, the powers wear off and we have regular Damien again, with like this kind of like fun adventure that he just had with Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
Which means eventually that means eventually Superman has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, we all know Lois is pregnant now. They kissed at the end of that movie.
That's how it works.
Kissing makes babies. Okay, let's
especially
move
when
on.
you kiss in the sky. All right, let's move on here.
How dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
In Hollywood, monsters wear many faces, and one of them used to be Matt Hagen. The DCU's most grotesque gamble stars Matt Hagen, a Gotham actor desperate to outrun his past and reinvent himself. Unfortunately, LA has other plans. After a vicious attack leaving him disfigured, Hagen becomes the biotech guinea pig of Dr. Caitlin Bates, whose idea of healing comes with side effects that scream experimental horror. His body begins to shift, his mind not far behind. Enter Caitlin's fiance, Detective John Mallory, not Malort, who suspects something gooey is growing in her lab. Besides relationship problems, toss in a shady crime boss and a city that treats body horror like a business model, and Hagen's path to stardom turns into a monstrous meltdown. There's no Batman to save the day, no Joker cackling in the wings, just a man liquefying under emotional strain and corporate ambition. James Gunn calls it pure fucking horror. We call it Cronenberg meets Casting Couch.
Oh shit.
Coming September 11th. Bring popcorn, leave your skin. Clayface is coming.
That's disgusting.
2026, September 11th, 2026. Not this year, next year.
I want the version of Matt Hagen from Cape Crusader.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah. That,
where he's not a giant, like clay monster, but like kind of like it's almost like Darkman, right? Where he kind of hides himself in a hat and a trench coat, but then if he needs to change his face, he can do it, or if he needs to change anything like on himself, he can just kind of like change it to whatever he wants to change. So he's just like a shapeshifter. But I mean, like, make that absolutely terrifying. You know what I mean? Like that whole transformation and everything. And then as an homage to the larger version, like in somewhere in the third act, you can have him turn into that big monster. But I feel like the majority of the movie, I would rather him be kind of like the version, like a scary in the rafters version, like in Cape Crusader. Right. And then like in the third act, something big happens and he kind of just turns into the big monster and like swallows somebody or something like that. You know what I mean?
I do think the monster's probably best for Act 3. I think that's when we'll see it. I think the first act will be him, have like him trying to recuperate from whatever accident or whatever. And then the second one's when he gets it. I feel like, you guys saw Doom Patrol, right?
Yeah,
HBO Max. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Rita Farr, you know how she would get emotional and then she'd like start sliding. I think we might see part of that. I do think the making it in LA where
Hollywood.
I mean, come on. Body dysmorphia is like the number one trend in LA most of the time. So I think that this is a really cool thing to do. But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a horror film, and I love it. And it might be the horror film I like. That makes me go, I really am a horror fan.
There you go.
Yeah, I got to put it on screen just so everybody can see. For those of the people who have not seen this version of Batman, so right here, the guy on you guys can see on my screen, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the guy all the way to the right there, right? That version. Now I know that's Basil Carlo, which is like a different version of Clayface.
Mhm.
But like
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, because that's actually how Clayface looked in the comics, anyways.
He was based off Boris Karloff, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
But like if we do this version of Basil Carlo, right, and then eventually it turns into this by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's acting like the Tudyk version.
The Alan Tudyk version, like this version.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm an actor.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be in Clayface.
But you see right here, so like this right here, like his face melting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and he
That's
I
what
wouldn't
Trey
mind
was talking
something
about.
like that. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, because then that kind of conveys that body horror, right? Like you see like his
Yeah.
face just melting and he becomes this. He can kind of like turn his limbs into like weapons and stuff like that.
I wonder where this is or when it's going to take place within the new DCU, because if you've watched Creature Commandos, Clayface is in Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So does this new movie take place before that? After that? Do we have multiple Clayfaces? It'll be interesting to see what James Gunn does.
I think James Gunn said there are multiple Clayfaces.
Could be.
I thought he said that. But I mean, yeah, I think it just depends, really. But I do think that Clayface wasn't really dead. I mean,
now you see like
Clay.
There could be multiple Clayfaces, and there could be multiple Green Lanterns, but there's only one Guy Gardner.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. But like, so like, no, I know. I'm just saying. I was just saying. So like, do the Cape Crusader version, and then by the end of the movie, he's this.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think that's a great way to do it.
Because that's the one from
yeah.
Creature Commandos. So that's how we eventually get to that, and maybe it takes place before Creature Commandos, so then that way you get an explanation to how that version shows up.
Could be in Elseworlds as well.
Yeah. Also, James, that was me doing that was me kind of stalling for time to get this back on screen. So all right, so let's move on here, guys. Guy Gardner's the kind of space cop who'd write himself a citation just to argue about it. That is true. Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner is not just loud, he's legendary. In HBO's Lanterns, Fillion finally gets to unleash the full chaos of Gardner's bulk up bravado, and it's a far cry from the polished heroics of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Fillion described this version of Gardner as 98% flawed. That's exactly what makes him a goldmine for drama and dark comedy. He's smug, abrasive, and unapologetically profane, dropping more F-bombs in Lanterns than in his entire career combined. But beneath the trash talk, the cosmic middle fingers, there's a shift. His dynamic with Jon Stewart reveals when you start to see Stewart reveals cracks in Gardner's swagger. My bad. By the end of their first major scene, Fillion says, "Guy's no longer comfortable," and that's when you start to see Stewart's quiet strength take center stage. Fillion's long history with the Green Lantern mythos, from voicing Hal Jordan in animated films to now embodying Gardner in live action, makes his role feel like a full circle moment. If Gardner's mouth doesn't save the galaxy, his ego might, assuming there's room for both in his power rating. I'm curious where they put, because I mean, like, obviously we have Guy Gardner in the movie, but what I'm curious on is to what extent are we going to see Guy Gardner's story? Because for those of you who don't know, we'll do the quick kind of rundown on it. Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner were both picked at the same time to be Green Lantern. Abin Sur was closer to Hal Jordan, so Hal Jordan became Green Lantern, right? Guy Gardner becomes the backup, right? By the time, what was it? Guy Gardner ends up in jail or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Guy Gardner ends up in jail when time comes for him to take over for Hal Jordan, and because he's in jail, they're like, okay, John Stewart, and they find John Stewart, and John Stewart becomes the next Green Lantern. He becomes the backup, so Guy Gardner becomes the backup to the backup. Right?
Mhm.
Guy
Yeah, but
Gardner,
at some point they gave him a temporary ring, and then they just never like got it back. And there's a whole thing about
right?
that.
So
But yeah.
there's also Guy Gardner dies, and then comes back, and originally the original version of Guy Gardner was like more tempered and more calculating and less of a loose cannon, and then when he dies and comes back, he becomes the Guy Gardner we know and love now, right? It's kind of like the douchebag jock guy, right?
He's the douche loot.
He's the douche loot. So I'm wondering if maybe not getting that full story, but at least getting references to, you know, him being the backup to the backup kind of thing.
I don't think we're gonna get really anything. I think with Guy Gardner, it's all gonna be a little bit like just little pieces here and there. And he's gonna be in different things. He's gonna show up in different things, and he's gonna annoy people, and he's gonna piss people off like Batman. And I cannot wait for it. But I think that's gonna happen, and then we'll finally find out. You know, we'll see what happened, and that I think once we see where he is in his story, then we'll understand why he is the way he is. Because like there's a lot of stuff that goes on with him, and I don't know that they'll go through all of it. Like Warrior, I don't know that they'll go through that.
No,
That
But
was
like I
kind of
said-
a weird thing for him.
like I said, I think like all I would want is like a comic book reference, right? Like a quick reference to like you've got a lot to say being the backup to the backup, right? And you don't have to expand on that, but that makes people go, what did he mean by that? Okay, let me go look up the comics. And then you go look up the comics and see, you know, why he's considered the backup of the backup.
Some little quick joke reference like, how's that junior varsity ring doing? And he's like, wait, junior varsity?
Yeah.
You know? What do you mean?
They didn't come and get that from you yet. You know, something like that. Something that's like, aren't 2 Green Lanterns in 2814 enough? Or something like that, you know, kind of. I think that will happen. I do think Hal's gonna give Guy a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And I think that John's gonna be the balancing force between them. I do think that's what's gonna happen. And I think that's great because John is the balancing force.
I also kind of want by the end of the show, not him as a lantern, but like a small introduction to Kyle.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And then,
but you know, James doesn't like Kyle, so probably not gonna get him.
It's funny because Kyle is like everybody's favorite Green Lantern, and it's like not his. But
not mine. He's not Chip.
Oh God, Chip is so. I hope we get to see Chip in this. I know they're saying that it's supposed to be like an Earth thing, and it's like mostly on Earth.
I want Kilowog.
I would love
Give
to
him
see
some hypno
Kilowog. I would
glasses.
love to see Kilowog hypno glasses. I would love to see Kilowog. I would love to see who's the bird dude? What's his name?
What is his name? What is his name? Oh shit, what is his name? I'm looking it up.
Yeah. But anyway, Chip would be hilarious to see. Anyways, I'm excited for this. I really do want to see the Lantern show. Green Lantern has always been one of my favorite characters within DC. I know if Matt Aguilar was in the chat right now, he would be straight up telling everybody like, I cannot wait for this. Tomar Ray, thank you.
Tomar Ray, that's it. Yeah, I was like going down. I was like, it's not Aricia, it's not Salak.
Yeah, no.
And then I was like, ooh, Simon Baz. Do you think Simon Baz will be in this?
Simon
What
Baz.
about Jessica Cruz?
No, Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz aren't going to show up in this. If they're not putting Kyle Rayner in this, they're not going to do Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. At least not yet. They won't be in until like season 3 or 4.
Ooh, Jade, Alan Scott. Are we gonna get Alan Scott?
I think we'll get Alan Scott. I 100% think we'll get Alan Scott.
Want Jade and Alan Scott. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So with that being said, do we have any other thoughts before we move on to the last segment?
Nope.
I think my only thought is we got cons, people.
We got cons, people. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move into the last segment of the show. It is time for the Geek End Update.
Silver Age Comic Con, right? July 12th and 13th.
Did my laptop ever get fixed on
Yes.
the desk? Or
No, your
last
laptop
time
is still
Hulk
broken.
came through, he kind of, well, he wanted to look some stuff up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, your laptop is broken. It's broken.
It's sticky broken. Like
That's right.
It's gross.
Okay.
Silver Age Comic Con, July 12th, 13th, Reno, Nevada. There's
Right.
a lot of people, a lot of guests, a lot of interviews. Let's talk about it.
We had a crap ton of fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, to join us on the show and talk about Silver Age Comic Con and all the fun that happened over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show the con correspondents, the con makers themselves, be makers, not haters. Ladies and gentlemen, it is DeLong Family Cosplay. What's up, DeLong?
The golden to our girls.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah, it's real sweet. We took the wrong camera on.
Good job, guys.
This is great.
So guys, tell us about the weekend, man. How did everything go in your guys' opinion?
Well, on our end, it went pretty well. We saw some old friends that we only really get to see when we're there, or we see them other places like Astro's here, who's a good friend of ours, Boygan's cosplays, and everyone's favorite sticker lady, Misho. And
that's cool.
We hosted the Marvel meetup with Tomb Room, like we do. This is our third year doing that, and we had a lot of fun with that as well. Everyone had a good time with the Marvel meetup there, and we saw a lot of vendor friends like Kyber Cave,
That's
Dragon
right.
Child.
Now we're there.
Oh, now we're here. Okay, camera angle change. J Mart. Holy Brick. Oh, and Sinister Sewing, who's normally only at Sinister Creature Con, appeared there, and we didn't know. So that was fun to run into them.
We froze. Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh,
That's
on it.
awesome. What is that?
Can you
Did
guys
you
see
dress
this?
up as Squirrel Girl?
She did.
yes,
That's
I did.
freaking fantastic. I am proud of you.
I don't know if you noticed the picture right before her Squirrel Girl is Assassin Deadpool and Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
That's Jeff and Bruce.
I figured that was Jeff and Bruce and the Deadpool and Hit Monkey thing, because I knew they were doing stuff on the channel for it.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god.
I didn't know
Bruce's
she was
shoes-
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. Bruce's shoes were amazing. He made like literal monkey feet and turned them into like they're like loafers with monkey feet on the outside.
Oh, wow.
knockoff products.
But
Well,
it's
that's
still
awesome.
good. That because he just put the shoes on and basically he's walking around like with monkey feet. It was so good.
That's great. I love Hit Monkey.
Well, now you
'Cause,
have
you know.
another reason to love Bruce because he's Hit Monkey.
Well, I love Bruce like a nephew,
Yeah.
which means
Everyone
I'm
does.
just going to sugar him up and then just send him back.
No.
Now we did have multiple interviews. The interviews were really good. Hold on one second, James. I guess he just all right. We did have multiple interviews. All the interviews were good. Adam Baldwin was absolutely hilarious.
Was he?
He had so many stories to tell. And just it was really good. He was a really cool guy in general. Hung out. and
Did
had
he
lunch.
talk about me? Did he mention me at all?
I didn't know you knew Adam Baldwin.
Never mind.
Oh, secret.
I don't know what you're talking about. So it was fun.
It was fun. It was a really good time. Again, Adam Baldwin was really fun. A couple other guests that we talked. So we did talk with Amy
Allen.
Allen. For some reason in my head, I wanted to say Amy Adams. I was like, no, that's Superman. But yeah, when we talked with Amy Allen, she had a lot of fun stories. Just kind of like about how she got into Star Wars and everything like that. John St. John, again, another good conversation. Tony Oliver, James got to miss out on that again.
How is Stephen Constantino?
Stephen Constantino we had a really good conversation with him too. We actually hung out with him on Saturday. We ended up going to a baseball game with them.
Nice.
And Stephen was a good time.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, Olivia D'Abo had to leave on Sunday, so
Wow.
they had to cancel her interview. But everybody else that we were with was it was a good time.
Well, that sounds awesome. It sounds like, I mean, you look, life happens. So I hope everything's okay with Olivia. And but yeah, it sounds like you had a great old time.
Yeah.
Except
was good.
James, who wasn't there.
You weren't there either, so technically.
I said it a long time ago I wasn't gonna be because of the car accident and the dog dying.
Yeah, great.
Well, let's with that being said, let's go ahead and move into
It's just the kind
into
of show it's been tonight.
the next Comic-Con that we're doing. James, you coming with us to this one?
I don't know.
No,
We'll figure
maybe
it
not.
out.
Metal Art Comic-Con on July 26th and 27th. I forgot to make a slide for it. In Medford, Oregon, guys, we have some really, really fun guests that we're going to be interviewing here. Joey Lauren Adams, which I'm excited for. She was Chasing Amy, Dazed and Confused,
Yeah.
Exorcist, Mallrats. Michaela Hoover, which is a massive pull.
Yeah.
So Dave signed Michaela before Superman came out. And now
That's
we get
crazy.
to interview Cat Grant. It's going to be
Yeah, she's
really
Cat
fun.
Grant.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's Cat Grant in the current Superman movie. This is probably one of the most time sensitive interviews that we're getting to do in a long time.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Right.
That's so awesome.
Tom Choi is going to be there, who is Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat. Dan Southworth, who we've actually interviewed in the past. We interviewed him at Power MorphCon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
That
yeah.
was actually
Okay.
really fun. I'm kind of excited for this interview just because there's so much that Dan had his hand in. Like he did a lot of stunt coordination for a lot of stuff too, because he was a stunt guy before even becoming a Power Ranger. So it's gonna be fun to talk with Dan again. Vic Chow from 24 and Grey's Anatomy, Golden Child, Ready Player One. He was also the voice of Goro in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, cool.
And then, of course, Chris Bartlett, someone we've met in the past. Actually, I think James has hung out with Chris Bartlett a couple times.
Yeah, DeLongs and I met up with him at, I think it was KyberCon. Was it last year? This year?
KyberCon 3? Yeah,
Not last year.
yeah.
The last gun.
Yeah, the last KyberCon. He was
You
in
made
back row
out with
us.
him?
Yeah, we hung out with him. It was great.
You made out with him.
He made out with him.
That was all
I
James
heard
Gunn.
made out.
But Chris Bartlett, best known as the man who took over from Anthony Daniels as the body of C-3PO.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
He also he's voiced a handful of other droids as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be fun kind of hanging out with all those people here at Metal Art Comic Con. Ladies and gentlemen, if you head to metalartcomiccon.com/guests, you can check out the guest list. But if you go to metalartcomiccon.com, you can get tickets, guys. It's going to be a good time. Again, you don't want to miss out on Joey Lauren Adams. You don't want to miss out on Michaela Hoover. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, again, Tom Choi and Vic Chow. If you're a Power Ranger fan, which I know Sandra is, Dan Southworth, given that we've talked with him before in another setting, is an amazing guy to meet. And Chris Bartlett's probably one of the nicest guys in existence. So guys, make your way to up to Medford, Oregon, and come and hang out with us. We'll do this show. It's going to be great.
That's awesome. Awesome. You know what would be great if you were going to go to these cons, is if you had the appropriate merchandise.
That's right, because we got
For
merch,
these
people.
We got merch, people, and so can you. All you got to do is DM us at Distance Nerding. Let us know which shirt you're looking for. We have the logo shirt. We have the character shirt. Let us know what size you're looking for, how many you're looking for. $20. $20. If you're local, 25 if we got to ship it to you. But if you're going to be at the con, pick them up at the con.
We'll make a
Be
deal,
right
guys. We actually.
Oh, and it's the chase version of the black shirt, right?
Right. Chase version of the black shirt. We also have con bags now.
Con bags.
con
Yes,
bags.
we got con bags. Con bags in the house. $10. Get yourself a con bag. Fill it up with all the fun stuff you're going to get at the Comic-Cons.
Exactly.
You could put your shirt in it.
Shirt, stickers.
Best way to
swag,
carry your shirt.
Stuff you're going to win because Philippe likes to do trivia.
A potato. Oh, wait, that was Jim's Day.
Yeah, no. Is there something in Oregon that is like, the state snack?
Apples.
Apples? All right, there you go. Put an apple in your bag.
Apples. And you can say, how about them apples?
How about them apples?
How about them apples and this con bag?
Okay, I see what you did there. All right, well, let's move on to the schedule here. I finally changed it. Yay!
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 Well, guys, we've got our schedule, guys. Tuesdays, the download from 6:30 to 8:30. Thursdays, the build from 6 to 8, and of course Fridays, the buzzer, also from 6 to whenever we get done, but usually around 8 o'clock. Guys, make your way there. Of course, the download, the show you're watching right now, with all of the news, rumors, and everything that's going on in the nerd world. Thursdays, the build, where we're on YouTube. We're hanging out with me, Graveyard, sometimes Jen, sometimes Shadoo's there, sometimes James shows up once every 10 years, and I'm building Lego, and we're talking with nerdy friends and stuff like that.
I showed up last week. What?
Yeah,
Talk
yes,
smack?
right.
I
He
didn't
did
show up.
actually show up last week. He showed up in person.
There you go. Boom.
We do not have a guest this week, guys, so we're probably going to be doing nothing but brackets. 'Cause we have a whole bunch of brackets to catch up on. But yes, we will be doing that. And of course, the buzzer, where knowing the answer is optional, but laughing at the wrong one is mandatory. Come and hang out with us on the buzzer, guys. I believe we are going to be playing Well Really this week.
I believe so, yes. I've come up with so many nerdy topics and Final Jeopardy things. Oh, I've got such a good one. I cannot wait for my Jep Nerdy. I might ask Graveyard if he'll let me do another one.
I mean, we got the week after. Well, actually, no, the week after that we'll be getting ready to go to the next con.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same weekend that Fantastic Four comes out.
Yeah, that's how our life works. Just like the last show we went to over this weekend was the weekend that Superman came out. So find a will, we'll make it away. All right. Well, guys, it's pluggable time. So we'll start up over here. DeLongs, give everybody your pluggables.
So tomorrow night we will be on at 5:30 on our YouTube channel, and this week's episode is called "It's a Squirter."
What?
Yeah. Well, basically, Jeff's finishing up the dog that he's making.
Oh God, you scared Jackie with that thing last week when you pulled it out. What the hell is that? I was like, it's a dead dog prop. She goes, that's disgusting. Put it away.
And he did it. He left it on the coffee table.
I know.
And then this Friday, actually, I will be there at this one event for Sad Geeks. Straw Hat Coffee is having a Straw Hat night market in Sacramento on Stockton Boulevard. So you guys can go over there and get all your nerdy stuff. We're going to be having manga and comic books and a bunch of other stuff at our booth to sell. And then this Saturday, we're all going to travel down to Madeira to Nova Collectibles to see another Red Ranger, Steve Carnitas, and also I'm going to botch his name, Kerrigan Malhan, who was Goldar in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, nice.
And I
What are you
will-
gonna do about it, Red Ranger?
Well, I mean, we'll have to show down. Bruce might wear his Red Ranger. I have good authority to say that there will be a Rita Repulsa there.
Oh, we're gonna see Rita pretty soon, anyways, so it's gonna be great.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think
cosplay.
I think she means something else.
Oh, cosplayer. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we see Carla every now and then. She's pretty awesome. So,
I mean, or two.
yeah. Jen, give us all your pluggables.
Hi, I'm Jen. I have a little YouTube channel called Fray Girl, where we do classified. That's Shadu and I. We are planning on doing some other stuff. We are going to do a Twitch stream, I think, where we're going to play Skyrim, and I probably will rage quit every single time. But yeah, so we're going to do that. And yeah, and then I'm on Distance Nerding a lot, like a lot. Yeah. And that's me. Follow me on my socials, Fray Comics or Fray Girl on pretty much anything. That's me.
Awesome. Jamez, what do you got?
The only thing I'm going to plug is joining the taco party.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Do the right thing. Join the taco party. Actually, sorry, I'm one ahead right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support Distance Nerding, the best way to do it is to head up to distancelearning.com, hit that big blue button that says buy us a taco, and you can join the taco party. That's right, like James just said, join the taco party. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, join the taco party. It is the best way to support Distance Nerding. And actually now another way that you can support Distance Nerding is by heading over to our YouTube channel. If you are not already subscribed to Distance Nerding, now is the time to do it. We are on the road to 500. If you subscribe on YouTube, once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a Lego kit. We've got a whole contest going right now where I can give you some extra chances to win if you, every time anybody takes our post that is on Instagram and reposts that post, I will give you an extra chance to win. Post it, guys. We need everybody to spread the word, the good word of Distance Nerding. We are currently at 445 subscribers. We have about 55 to go, and we will be giving away some Lego. So let's get it done, guys. Let's do this.
Be great if we could do it before the end of the summer.
All right.
How about the end of the week? Let's do it before the end of the week.
Let's do it. Let's do it before the end of the week,
Okay.
guys. Tell all your friends to subscribe to Distance Nerding, and by the end of the week, we'll be 500.
I'm not saying hold them by gunpoint or knife point or any object point.
Right.
But I am saying please encourage them. Maybe like Batman would encourage villains to do the right thing.
Punch them in the face.
To subscribe to Distance Nerding.
You have to punch everybody in the face and tell them subscribe to Distance.
Or you could go to Superman route.
All right, and that's like the hugs. All right, well, ladies and
Just like
gentlemen,
everybody.
James, give him the line.
Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on and connect with us.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Connect with us on all the social media platforms, everywhere that exists. On the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet, Mandels the beard, Jamez's glasses, just sitting on a table, judging you because you didn't subscribe to Distance Nerding on YouTube. And of course, everything you should do would do for money, which is 90% him crying
whenever I do this voice. Oh, yeah.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of Galactus, I guess.
Mhm.
Superman? Spit us out at the feet of the kaiju that Superman fights that he gets
The
upset
Hammer
about.
of Baravia.
Oh, the Hammer of Baravia. Yes. You spit us out at the feet of the Hammer of Baravia, which I almost wanted to give a spoiler out for a second right there.
Stop it.
I know. I'm not allowed to spoil. I know. I get it. then you can send us an
And
email
it's
at
nerding.
itsnerding@aol.com and we will read it live on air.
Nice.
Now, James.
Thanks, and keep nerding together, everybody.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
And Bruce, it's probably long past time for you to go to bed now.
Bruce, go to bed.
well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. We do appreciate everybody for hanging out with us and listening to all of our fun rants and everything. But it is time for us to get going. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great rest of your night. And as James just said, thanks and keep nerding together. We'll see everybody on Thursday.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Distance nerding.